Well, good evening, everyone. How was everybody's Christmas?
It was
And
good. How was yours?
or other holidays that you may have celebrated?
Festivus was great.
Good. That's the most important one, right? Festivus.
Festivus for the rest of us.
Yeah. It's 5:30. We've got all 7 members of the Planning Commission present. Julie, are we expecting anyone from staff tonight? I don't see that they have anything to present, and I know Scott's here, so I don't know if that's all we need tonight.
I'm
Scott.
pretty sure, yeah, Duncan's here on, and I'm pretty sure Larry was going to be on
Okay.
if he's not.
I just see that our 2 public hearings have been continued / pulled, so.
Yeah, you'll have to probably continue the one just to a date uncertain, and the other one's just off. And then Tangi Sloan will be here at 6 to do the oath of office.
Okay, well, we just have some business items tonight. Oath of office for Corbin and for me. We need to have a discussion about the election of the chair and the vice chair for 2021, appoint 2 commissioners to the Design Review Committee, as well as appoint 1 other to serve on the CDBG Home Committee for the coming up year. Who did DRC this last year?
I did.
Jay and Kent. Has anybody not done it? I know obviously Pamela hasn't done it because she's new, and Ammon, you haven't done it?
Nope.
Pamela,
Be happy to.
are you available one extra Tuesday night once a month? Most of the meetings are now done online, or not even online, just through email at this point.
Yeah, that's what's been his email.
We're actually going to, starting in January when needed, Larry would like to have those as a Zoom type of meeting on the Tuesday.
Okay, so it would be as needed once a month, no more than once a month.
4th Tuesday.
On a Tuesday night. So
Yeah,
same as we're already doing. Okay, so we've got Ammon and Pamela can do that.
I'd like to do the CDBG again. I've done that the last 2 years.
Okay, anybody have any opposition to that? Okay, GRC and then Trish. Yeah, gotta get that first initial on there. CD, the alphabet soup here, so.
What does CDBG stand for?
Community Development Block Grant,
Okay.
basically federal funding.
It's kind of what she
Gotcha.
does for her job anyway, right? So it kind of fits really naturally for you, doesn't it, Trish?
Yep, it does.
Awesome.
All right. All right. Well, then the only other, before we get to the business item number 2, anybody have any conversation or discussion regarding the minutes from our short previous meeting?
Boy, I don't know.
Okay. Staff is making it real hard on us, guys. So it just means that when we finally get something back on our agenda, it's gonna probably be a late night. So Scott's nodding his head over there, so I think he knows what's coming down. Okay. Well, then let's just have a quick conversation here, and then we can just hang out for the next 20 minutes or so. I believe next meeting is our training, right, Duncan? Okay. So we need to look for nominations to run or to serve as chair for 2021 of the Planning Commission.
I'd like to nominate you, Matt, if you're back on.
I'm back on. That doesn't mean I have to do it.
Well, I'll nominate you.
So, but you'll do that in the meeting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Yes, we'll definitely do official nominations upstairs, but I'd like to get it out of the way now if we can. Anybody else? I actually would like to nominate Trish to do this. She'd be willing to do it.
Is that like a reverse nomination, Matt?
No, I actually been thinking about it for a while. You were the one that came to mind, so you just jumped in and beat me to it.
I've never won.
I try not to talk too much, at least not, maybe in this meeting I do, but you beat me to it. Okay, we can have a conversation. We've got, anybody else want to make a nomination for a chair while we're down here? Well, we'll do this officially upstairs, but I just want to see what people are thinking.
I think either one of you would be fantastic. I would support either one. So.
And then what about vice chair?
What about between both of you deciding chair and one of you vice chair?
Trish, are you opposed to being either?
I'm not opposed.
Okay.
Thank you. That's a nice honor.
Anybody else?
Who's
Okay,
been on the commission the longest? Has it been Matt and,
me and Trish,
okay,
and now Corbin's starting year 4. Trish, you're what, year 5?
Mhm.
This is my 7th year.
okay.
Jay, you're what, year 3 now?
3.
And then I think the rest of you are all officially starting your 2nd year, although 2 of you haven't even served for a full year yet, right?
No.
Is that correct, Kev? Okay, well, if there's no other discussion to this, then we'll handle the nominations and the discussion just for the sake of having a conversation, upstairs. We'll do that in a little bit. Anybody else have anything else they want to bring up?
We've already had the dog and cat discussion.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. I forgot. I do need to do one other piece of business before we move on to any other fun stuff.
You have to read your book.
I need to read my little COVID statement, so hang on tight. This is the fun part, guys. Due to the increased threat of serious illness and loss of life by the rapid spread of the COVID-19 virus, the chair of the West Jordan Planning Commission has determined that conducting this Planning Commission meeting at the City Hall or at another anchor location is likely to contribute to the spread of COVID-19 and would present a substantial risk to the health, safety, and welfare of the city's residents, participants, and observers. Therefore, pursuant to Utah Code 52-4-2074, the West Jordan Planning Commission hereby declares that the meetings of this public body will be held only electronically until further notice. This determination will expire 30 days from the date the chair of the Planning Commission signs the written determination. I think I've forgotten to do that like the last 3 meetings. That right there should get me fired, guys. Hey, Scott, since we have a little bit of time, do you want to talk to us about what's going on with these? This is the 3rd meeting in a row where we're not going to be doing these two text amendments. Do you want to give us an idea of what's going on here, when to expect them?
Absolutely. As you know, these 2 text amendments are associated with the Wood Ranch development, and there are many different moving parts to this. We would have loved to have presented a draft. We're calling it the PCH now, the Planned Community Hillside, simply due to the fact that there's really not a strong form-based component to this, and that's sort of evolved over time. So it's the PCH, but we keep bouncing it back and forth between city staff and Daybreak, and we're very close actually. We're basically turn it back to Daybreak by the end of the week, and so that we can get any final amendments and tweaks to it in your packet for your 2nd meeting in January. And I know you've heard this story before, but that is the game plan right now. And then and so that's why we'd ask you to continue it to your next meeting. As I've thought about all these continuances and noticing and so forth, if this was in a near a neighborhood with a lot of residents who are just waiting to listen to this new PCH zone, then I would probably have it renoticed and have you just we'll reset it. Duncan, you can jump in here, but there's really nobody that lives out on that side, and it's not like it's going to have a huge impact on any of our existing neighbors. So I don't know why the mayor's calling me, but he's calling me right now. But and then secondly,
do you need to take that? We can ask Duncan.
I can kind of continue talking, Scott, for then
I'll jump back on here.
Put it on mute, Scott. We don't need to hear you get fired.
continue on with what Scott was just describing.
Duncan, Julie has something really quick.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Julie.
I was just going to ask for a clarification because I didn't think it was going to be to the next meeting, but so the commission will need to know that for sure, because that's not how I listed
Right.
it.
What I understand, I think you're right, and that would be helpful if Larry I think he's going to join us at 6 o'clock. I think Larry's recommendation was going to be to continue it to a date uncertain. Is that what you were remembering, Julie?
Yes, but if it's going to be at the next meeting, then because noticing has already taken place, then it has to be in the motion to be for the next meeting.
Right. So we need to hear from Larry in the main meeting if it needs to be continued to the next meeting or to a date uncertain. And but a lot has been accomplished. The other ordinance, the mining overlay ordinance, I don't think is going to come to you at all, because we originally thought we would need to have such an ordinance because there's mining operations already in the area that would be annexed into the Wood Ranch project. And but it appears that one of two scenarios will take place. Either one, that project does not need to be immediately annexed, that it would be potentially annexed later, but with a right for the city to annex it at any time in the future, in which case we wouldn't need the ordinance if it was not in the city. And secondly, we realized once we got a copy of the CUP, the conditional use permit from the county for the mining operation, that they're already in the third of 3 phases of only 60 of the 165 or 55 of the 165 acres can be mined, and they're already in the third of 3 phases of that. And so the reason for the mining overlay ordinance would be if the CUP area could be expanded. So from the 50 acres to the whole 100, or 55 acres to the whole 165. But it appears that it's not going to be expanded, so there wouldn't be a reason for the ordinance. So one of the 2 ordinances, the mining overlay, is being, won't come back to you at all. So the only issue is with we're calling it now the PC Hillside ordinance. When is that going to be continued to? And like I say, Larry can give us some further guidance, whether it's the next meeting or a meeting uncertain. But even though technically this ordinance will be generally applicable to the entire city, it's only potentially going to be immediately applicable to this project, even though it could apply to somewhere else on the west side in the future. So there's been a back and forth between the city and the developer. And as Scott indicated, I think we're pretty close on language that would cover and work for this type of development.
Is this going to present a problem? Because we're probably going to be doing a very similar type of zoning for the potential Ivory development just to the south of it, right? I can't think of the name of the Jones Ranch or whatever it is.
No, the
one that we walked.
If you remember, you already approved of the Jones Ranch zoning and master development plan, and all of that went to, and you heard that so long ago that you probably forgot, but it eventually made its way to the council on November 4th for their final approval. So as of 2 months ago, the council approved of the zone change to the regular PC zone.
That's not going to be planned community form-based then?
No, it's just a regular
Okay.
PC zone with a master development agreement and plan, and they're moving forward on it. So you'll probably be seeing some additional sub-area plans or subdivision or site plans for Jones Ranch, some of the more specific follow-up applications, but their main application has already been approved by you guys plus the council.
So how many other spots in the city is this PCFB zone potentially going to cover? Can we overlay this on top of like an IOZ to kind of give it a dual overlay? I mean, there aren't that many spaces left in the city that we can apply this, right?
No, especially where the minimum acreage is 400 acres for one. But it does also allow for an area that has been zoned, like I say, it's PCH now is what we're calling it, zone, where you can add to an existing one. So if this one is approved for Wood Ranch, someone could add smaller amounts that are immediately adjacent to it if they're contiguous. But there's probably only potentially one other area, down in the southwest quadrant of the city that would even qualify and meet the minimum requirements. So Scott can correct me if I'm wrong, but there's not many places left, maybe only one other place left that could maybe qualify for this ordinance.
The reason why I was asking that really quick, Scott, before you weigh in on that, the only concern I have is that we're spending so much time consulting with Daybreak, and I don't have a problem with that, except that when we get the next developer that comes in that wants to do this in that one last spot, and it's not Daybreak, how much are we setting ourselves up to get someone upset with us or for whatever reason because they don't get a say in what this zone looks like? Like, well, you consulted with Daybreak to get this one to exactly what they wanted. Why can't we do the same thing here? You're just telling us we have to do what Daybreak did, and that's not what we want. How much are we setting ourselves up for that kind of a conversation? Whereas if we had just done this ourselves and said, this is what it's going to be, so that we have universal applicability. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I guess there's two aspects to answering your question. There's the legal component that Duncan can weigh in on, but from a planning standpoint, like it or not, Daybreak is a very unique product, and for some people they love it, and other people they would never live in a development like Daybreak. The point is to create a zone that's very unique, different than what we have seen elsewhere in the city. And for me and my staff, that's sufficient reason enough to spend all this extra time and effort to create a unique choice for future residents. And Duncan's right. There's really not a whole lot of other areas, or quite frankly, developers that will be able to meet the parameters that we are drafting in this code. It's going to be fairly tight. Could Ivory Homes come in and do something like that? Absolutely, I have no doubt. But it would have to. The end result would look and feel very similar to a Daybreak type of development.
It doesn't sound like we have any intention of actually using this zone again.
Well, I think there is. I think there's rumblings that that there's a potential to annex further to the west up the hill. That's all controlled by Rio Tinto, of course, and that they will dictate the timing of that. But it would be wonderful if we could expand, if this turns out to be a fantastic community, if the council could use this tool and say, okay, we like what Wood Ranch looks like, and so we'd like to expand that up into the foothills, or further to the they call it the Rushton piece, so kind of north east of the Wood Ranch property. It's currently in the county, and there's a potential that we could use this zone for that property. So
is the city currently sits? Probably not, but on potential annexations, that's where we would look to apply this once again because of the continuous nature. Okay.
And for the fact of the matter is that it's called a PCH, so H meaning hillside. There's very unique aspects of this zone that you'll see that it plays a little bit better with the hillsides that you're going to see on the west side. So, okay. Right. I mean, down in the southwest corner of the city, yeah, I could see it being used down there as well.
Okay. Well, thank you. That helps.
Did you talk about the gravel extraction?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. The mayor was trying to join the meeting. He's having trouble logging on to Zoom, and so that's why he called. I'm still employed at the city, if you're wondering.
Well,
we would have pitched a fit if he was trying to fire you.
I mentioned to the planning commission here, Scott, that even though the PCH ordinance is coming back, that most likely the mining overlay zone is not going to come to the Planning Commission. It appears that there's maybe at this point not a need for that particular ordinance, right? So
There's a slight potential, but it seems like based on the emails that I saw bouncing around this afternoon, the preferred option would be just for them to amend their existing conditional use permit in the county. So. Oh, and looks like the mayor is joining via phone, Julie. So if you could let him in. And then Duncan, is the commission aware of the other code amendment that would allow a planning commissioner, Commissioner Hatch, to continue to serve on the general plan committee?
Oh, this would probably be a good time to bring that up if that's okay, Mr. Chair. Matt, is it okay?
Yeah.
So there is kind of a glitch, I could call it, in the city code right now, as far as the member of the Planning Commission that's appointed by the Planning Commission to serve as an ex officio member of the General Plan Committee. It says that currently in the code that Planning Commission member can only be appointed for 1 calendar year and cannot be reappointed. The council does not like that language. They want to have language similar to what the code says for the Design Review Committee. The Design Review Committee in Title II right now, I think it's section 2-5-1 or 2, says that the Planning Commission members appointed to that committee can be appointed for a 1-year term, and it can be up to 3 consecutive 1-year terms. So I was requested by council staff, by the council office director, to draft a text amendment, which I provided to council staff today, and they've circulated it for signature. It'll be on the council agenda for next week on the 13th. If approved by the council, what it says is it removes the word calendar from, now it just says 1-year appointment, and it allows for the same 3 consecutive 1-year terms, just like Planning Commission appointments to the Design Review Committee. So like I say, if it's approved, it's would allow for, in this instance, Commissioner Hatch to be reappointed. And like I said, it's not based on calendar years, it's just based on years, and up to 3 consecutive years.
So we'll address that appointment in our meeting 2 weeks from now.
Right. So if that gets approved on the 13th and
Okay.
your meeting is on the 19th, then you would be able to address that issue and appoint whoever you want, or reappoint whoever you want based on that new.
Okay.
So.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Okay, well, we got about 5 minutes. I'd like to say howdy to the mayor and say hi to Tanji. Thanks for joining us. Anybody
Thank you. I'm on the phone, but I couldn't log in for the computer, so it's good to hear you. You know I can't see you. I know you're there.
We appreciate the support.
Hey, appreciate your work.
We got 5 minutes to just stare at each other, guys. So somebody come up with something to talk about. Everybody just shut their screen.
No, I'll say, I want to know what hat the mayor's wearing.
It's a Greek fisherman hat.
We'll just imagine that in our little heads.
Did you say Greek
It is a-
fisherman?
As
Yeah.
we all go to Google.
Yeah, I got to see what this looks like.
You remember Stuart Richardson? He wears that style a lot.
Oh,
He used to be on the city council, he used to be on the planning commission, then he moved out of West Jordan, trader.
didn't know that's what that was called.
Share your screen, Matt, so we can see what it is.
Can I do that? Yeah, hold on a second. Let me get a good picture of it up here. All right, can you see it?
Nope.
I don't know what you're seeing.
I can see it.
I'll take your word
more
for
or
it.
less
Though.
like what you're wearing. Oh, you're married. Can you see? You can't see us either. Yeah, that's what
No.
it looks like.
Mayor, if you scroll your phone, you should be able to see the screen, I would think. Scroll your phone to the right or left.
Is it kind of like Popeye?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like Popeye. Yeah, kind of.
I think it looks kind of like a cabbie cap. So
So according to WikiHow here, it says wear it with a dress to create a striking contrast. Maybe it's,
What?
better
Or a kilt.
What? I don't think I would like that.
Well, if maybe it has to be worn with a kilt.
I don't think I would do that either.
well, it's weird that you consider Greek and they want you to wear it with a dress. That seems interesting.
It means an address, so I have my address. Okay, it doesn't mean that.
All right. Well, good job, Trish. You helped us kill 2 minutes.
Yeah, I restarted my computer. Let's see if it works now.
Oh, you want me
It's still not. It's telling me I have the incorrect password, but I know the password is 8,000 and we've used it forever, but it's not letting me log in.
hang on.
That's why I dialed it on the phone.
Well, this is going to be a super long, exciting meeting tonight, so we're glad you're here to help us out.
Maybe it's not
That's what
Scott's job that's in question. It's the mayor's job that's in question.
That's right.
IT's firing you.
No, I'm too excited to have you guys here. I don't want to fire any of you.
Oh, we're not worried about us.
Oh, you're worried about me.
Yeah, it's you.
You can't fire me. It takes a whole lot of people to fire me, but they could do it. Yeah, it's not letting me do it. I don't know. Well, it's okay. I'll just listen to you.
Mayor Burton, I just sent you a link to your email. Why don't you see if you can get to it that way? Is he still with us?
No.
Yeah.
How you doing, Tanji?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
Good to see all of you.
We're all excited to be here.
Yeah, Matt, you're gonna do this again.
Must be a glutton for punishment.
You're just trying to hold the record, aren't you?
This is officially the record, I believe.
There you go. You're right there.
Less- Well, Julie, I got 6 o'clock. Should we get this thing going?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and call to order the Planning Commission meeting for tonight, January 5th, 2021. Before we get started, I just got to read our quick anchor location statement. So please hang tight while I read to you. Due to the increased threat of serious illness and loss of life by the rapid spread of the COVID-19 virus, the chair of the West Jordan Planning Commission has determined that conducting this Planning Commission meeting at the City Hall or at another anchor location is likely to contribute to the spread of COVID-19 and would present a substantial risk to the health, safety, and welfare of the city's residents, participants, and observers. Therefore, pursuant to Utah Code 52-4-2074, the West Jordan Planning Commission hereby declares that the meetings of this public body will be held only electronically until further notice. This determination will expire in 30 days from the date the chair of the planning commission signs the written determination. Okay, we've got all members of the council or the commission present. We've also got several members of staff with us. So we want to just go ahead and move forward through this. We've got a pretty extensive agenda on our business items. First up is oath of office for the returning commissioners. So Angie, we will turn the time over to you.
All right, thank you very much. So it looks like the oath, we're doing the oath for Matt Quinney and Corbin Elam, correct?
Correct.
All right. Mayor, do we have you online now?
Yes, I am online now, so thank you.
You're welcome. All right, if I can get Matt and Corbin, if you'll raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name, do solemnly swear
I, Corbin England,
do solemnly
do
swear
solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will
support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the
the
Constitution
Constitution of the United States,
Constitution of the State of Utah,
the
and the Constitution of the State of Utah,
and the laws and ordinances of the City of West Jordan,
and the
and the
laws
laws and ordinances of West
of the
Jordan,
City of West Jordan,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
and I will
and that I will
discharge the duties
discharge my duties
of
of
my
my
office
office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Very good. Thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you.
Back.
Thanks.
I'll turn the time over to the mayor.
Okay, congratulations. I'm welcome back. We're glad to have you here. And there you can see my fisherman's hat now.
Hey, it looks just like the picture.
You did good. And I'm very glad that each of you are willing to do another term. You've both done some fantastic things. You research, you do your homework before you get there. And then when you show up, you're prepared and you're courteous and kind to those who have come to the meetings, even though it's their first time, and you help walk them through. And you guys just do a wonderful job, all of you united. But thank you two for coming back and going for another term. I appreciate that. And the city appreciates it.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Mayor.
Mayor.
Okay, thanks, Tangi.
Thank you.
You're welcome to hang out, or if you want to go home, that's on you too.
I'm gonna go.
Okay, we'll see you.
Bye-bye.
Next up is election of chair and vice chair for 2021. So we will go ahead and solicit some nominations for the chair for this coming year, for this current year, I guess. As previously discussed, I do nominate Trish Hatch.
I'll second that nomination.
Any discussion?
I think that's great. And that was for chair, correct?
That is for chair, yes. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and call for a motion on this, or for a vote on this. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay. Commissioner Sheldon, I'm assuming that was a delayed aye for in favor? Okay. All right. And then nominations for vice chair for 2021.
And I'd like to nominate Matt.
I will
I'll
second
second
that.
that.
Any discussion of the motion? Thank you very much for the nomination. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, well, I'm going to turn the rest of the direction of this meeting over to you, Chairwoman Hatch.
Thank you, Matt. And thank you everyone for that vote. That means a lot and I appreciate working with you. It's been a great experience and I'm glad I get to continue. All right, let's move on to the next item on our agenda, the appointment of 2 commissioners to the Design Review Committee for 2021.
As discussed downstairs, we discussed Commissioner Allen and Commissioner Bloom. I'm okay with moving forward with that.
Do I have a second?
Can I
I
second
second
myself? I'll second both of us.
Any comments? All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 All right, I think we're unanimous on that, Julie. And then the appointment of one commissioner to serve on the CDBG Home Committee for 2021. And I have served on this committee for the last 2 years, and I would like to continue again for 2021.
Duncan, we don't have any
Second.
language in the code about that one, do we?
No, that one, there's no limiting language, so we're good to go there.
Excellent.
I'd
And I'm
like to
also,
nominate Trish for that position.
I'll second.
Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Again, we are unanimous. Now, the next item on the business item is to approve the minutes from December 15th. Have you all had a chance to read through and do it? Can I take a nomination?
I move that we approve the minutes as constituted.
I'll
Second.
second.
I think we had Corbin and Ammon, so thank you. You guys are Johnny on the spot. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. And then the last item we have are the two public hearings. The first public hearing, item number 6, this item has been pulled from the agenda. And I believe Larry's on the line. And Scott, there is an item that this does not need to be moved to a date uncertain, or?
The PCH zone
No, this is the mining extraction.
mining. Yeah, I would just move that to a date uncertain, as I would the other one. I thought originally that we weren't going to need a gravel extraction ordinance, but new information has come to light that we may need that. So this just moved both of them to a date uncertain.
Larry, we were discussing downstairs on the second one, the PCH zone might be next meeting. Is there a possibility that this is coming back in 2 weeks?
I don't know. There's other people involved in the creation of the ordinance, and so it's difficult for me to say, and I hate to keep things on the agenda like that. I think this is the 3rd or 4th meeting I've had it continued, and so.
Correct. The only reason why I bring it up is Julie was pretty specific that if it's on the next agenda, the next meeting, it needs to be moved to the next meeting. If it's not going to be, then we can continue with date uncertain, but notices are tough for her to get out, if we're doing that. So
Yeah, it's a newspaper notice, and so, but she would, like she said, she would have to have it in like next week sometime, and so.
No, like today, tomorrow at the latest. So.
Gee, willikers. Okay. So it won't be on the next meeting. So this just
okay.
make it
So we can just do
February.
both of these to a date uncertain.
Yeah, and I don't know, Scott, if you have any insight on whether this will be ready or not. I doubt it, but in 2 weeks. So.
Yeah, I hope so, Larry. We're getting to the point where we've had a lot of negotiation back and forth, and at this point, we're getting down to it is the city. Ultimately, it is the city's sponsored ordinance, and it may not be perfect for the developer, but it will be what the city wants to present.
Yeah, and so then it sounds like we're going to move forward with it on the next meeting. So on the PCH, let's just make a motion for the 19th of January, the gravel extraction. That'll just be a date uncertain. So
Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have anyone that would like to make a motion?
So with that, on item number 6, the text amendment mining extraction overlay, I motion to continue to a date uncertain.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposed, all in favor. Next, do you want to take the next one, Corbin?
Yeah, item public hearing, item number 7, the text amendment, the PCH zone. Motion to continue that to the 19th of January 2021 meeting.
Second.
All in favor? Any comment or all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, that's it. I think we are done for this agenda. A motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
I think we're adjourned. Thank
New
you,
Year's, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Boy, Trish, you did a great job. That was a nice short meeting. Way to go.
Matt trained me well.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you all. Best meeting so far this year.